African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only one with the experience of civil matter. They are the only one que tenían el esclavo ahí mismitico. They are the only one that are not going to get deported anywhere, and you cannot put them all in jail. So African American community, which is the community that is stepped on by Cubans, the most are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American community that has not come out because it is not. I do. We didn't do shit for them.
I get it. But I don't.
Me and you support, but in masses, we didn't support anything that was going with them. Latinos look at Cubans specifically. I'm not going to talk about any other community because I'm not part of that community, even though I'm a Latina with them. Cubans talk shit about African Americans.
It's true.
Cubans did not support African Americans. Cubans think that they all victimize themselves, that of this, all of that. African Americans are the only ones that are going to save your ass, Latino. So you better start kissing. If you're going to kiss some ass in this country, you better kiss some black ass.
Grand rising kings and queens from Africa and across the ocean, welcome back to the channel. I am the Kenyan Beast. Here is where we speak the truth, where Pan-Africanism stands firm, and where we uplift black people globally with no apologies. Family, today I'm going to talk about something. It is something serious. It is something historic, and it is something overdue. I am going to talk about how some Latinos are finally apologizing to black people, how they are finally acknowledging what's happening or what has been happening, or they are now acknowledging the importance of black people in the community. After years of disrespect, after years of ignoring black Americans or black people, after years of trying to be close to whiteness, some of them, they are now realizing they need black people, especially when the ICE it's raiding, when immigration policy, it's eating them up. And more importantly, they are finally saying it loud. Some of them, not all of them. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video today. And there's some clips I want to play for you from Latinos. I want you to hear these videos because it's important to know that as black people, we need to be respected. Black Americans need to be respected by Americans and Africans and everyone. Africans too need to be respected. Afro-Caribbeans need to be respected. You know, each and every black people need to be respected because on one way or the other, black people have played a role in building the empires and the nation. So before we go down, let's watch these clips and then we're going to come back here with more commentary. I love you.
African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to.
Still don't believe we're the main characters. Still don't believe black Americans are the real children of Israel, the real Jews from the same tribe as Jesus Christ. Still don't believe that the black American man is about to, MAM is about to rule forever as joint heirs with Jesus Christ. They know time is up. When have they ever talked like this? Some of them, I feel like are doing things like this and openly admitting stuff because it's their way of like trying to make amends and like basically save them and their families' asses because they are well aware that the BLACK American man, because this is a patriarchy, is that our black American women are going to be right with us as our queen, but this is a patriarchy, okay? So they are well aware that the BLACK American MAN is the only one that can save them. They are aware. Since when have they ever spoken like this? They don't. They haven't. Never. Everybody's been. And I saw a sister girl throwing up her allegiance. You know, they try to say this is okay. Yeah, okay. Just sell that to the sleep. You know, but they're well aware the shift is here. They're well aware. They're well aware, right? A lot of them got to take things up with the Most High. Gotta take it up with the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because you don't know who's sincere, who's not sincere. You don't know who's trying to come in at the last minute after doing BS all this time, right? But the Most High knows. Our angels know. Our mother knows. You know what I'm saying? Who's sincere and who's not sincere. You know what I'm saying? But since when have they ever... The main characters, literally, still don't believe black Americans are the number one PPL on earth? The proof is in the pudding. Praise the Most High, I can see. I am extremely woke. Extremely woke. With that penal gland third, whatever the Most High did to my ass, your brother is extremely woke. And I can only thank the heavens for that. I can only thank the Father for that. I can only thank the Holy Spirit, our mother, for that. And it takes one to know one. I see other brothers and sisters on here who are extremely, extremely woke. Notable mentions: Brother Big Judah, right? Brother Moriel, Brother Sly, and Brother Big Levi. That's who I go listen to, right? So, yeah, extremely woke. Most I don't need a lot of people to. He don't. Most I do not need a lot of people to do what he needs to do. All praise to the Most High.
If it wasn't for Black culture, Black people, Black communities, Black leaders, Black artists, Black music, all of it, if it wasn't for that, we would have an entirely different experience in the United States. Here's the difference between Black folks and Latino folks. Black people in America, their ancestors fought for the rights that we all get to fucking enjoy right now. So many Latinos act like white folks just decided to give Latinos rights, just decided to let Latinos vote, just decided to put laws in place so that you could buy property. If it wasn't for Black leaders, Latinos wouldn't even be able to bring their kids to a public school. We have a lot of the privileges that we have today because of the Civil Rights Act, because of the Fair Housing Act, because of Voting Rights Act, which for those of you Latinos who voted for Trump, you're welcome. If you are Latino, you better recognize the gift that we were just handed from Black people. So it actually makes sense that more Latinos voted for this president because you didn't have to work for the rights that you were just handed. And don't worry, I will be talking about immigration too, but for right now, I just want to give Black people their flowers. I want to give Black artists their flowers. I want to give Black culture their flowers, because if it wasn't for them, I would not be who I am.
All right, Latinos, mi gente, we need to do better. I need you to watch this video all the way through because it's important for everyone, no matter what background, no matter what you believe. I need you to watch this. If you notice, the overwhelming numbers that you'll hear is 92%. 92% being the amount of people in the Black community who overwhelmingly voted for Harris. Now, you compare that to the 46 to 52% of Latinos that voted for Trump. I was asking for them to come help us. And their response was, first of all, we've been doing this a lot longer than you. But second of all, you can't even help yourself. Why would we come and help you? And after reading through 150 plus comments and responding to most of them, it really dawned on me that they're right. They have been organizing and fighting and responsible primarily for the progress of this country for hundreds of years. And for us Latinos, we can't even get our house in order. We can't even agree on who we should vote for and who has our interest in mind. And not to mention now with these protests, I'm seeing people burning American flags. Why would you burn the flag of the country you're fighting so hard to stay in? Why? We are proud Mexicans. We are proud Latinos. I understand the flags because it represents who we are. But we should also be flying American flags because this is our home. This is my home. I've been here for 32 out of my 33 years in life. It is not us versus America. It is us fighting for what America is for us. And it is us learning to unite and support each other and organize. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of conversations that we need to have, and we need to unite and organize and do a better job of moving in the same direction, moving in the direction that is going to be good for all of us. So a lot of the comments were, don't come and ask us for help. Take care of your own house. Figure out what y'all got to do. This message has to be for you. And it was hard. It was hard to read through the comments. It was hard to comment back. It was hard to hear it again and again and again. But I'm so grateful for the Black community that showed up and had this discussion, because they're right. And you know what? We do need their help, but we need to learn how to organize the way they did. Instead of asking them for help because we're the ones in trouble now, we need to learn how to organize ourselves. And more so, before we can ask anyone else to jump to our aid, we need to learn to jump to our own aid, and we need to learn to be there and support other people before we ask anyone else to come help us. So for all of the people who commented, we're sitting this one out as a Black community, y'all figure it out, I get it. And I think it's right. I think it's right, because we as Latinos, we have to do a better job of supporting each other. We have to do a better job of organizing. We have to do a better job of proving that we can unite and we can organize under a common cause. And not just because we need it, but because it's good for everyone. And when our Black brothers and sisters are there and they're going through it, we have to show up for them. Unity starts with us setting the example. It starts with us making the changes that we need to make in order to help ourselves. Because other people are going to be a lot more willing to help us if we're organized, if we're moving in the right direction, and if we're doing things for others because it's the right thing to do. So if you are a Latino and you are someone who wants to make a change, and if you're someone who wants to see America be better for us, we have to learn how to organize within ourselves. We have to learn how to better understand what it is we want and do it the right way. Stop burning American flags. Organize. Learn to support each other. Don't vote because the things that he's saying, the hateful things, the hateful rhetoric doesn't apply to you. Don't vote for just what's good for you. Vote for what's good for your own family, your own loved ones, even if you don't have any family that's undocumented. We have to come together and we have to learn that until we are voting for an America that is good for everyone, it's not going to be the America that we want to live in. So yeah, I learned, and again, I've said it before, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I made that video. I'm grateful that I had so many people reach out, and the love and support from that community that I felt once we had conversation, once people DM'd me and we had a chat, it was incredible. They've done so much for all of us that we don't even notice. We've benefited so much from the Black community and all of the effort that they've put in to make this country one where people like us are more accepted. It's our turn. It's our turn to lead the charge. And not just because we're the ones being attacked right now, but because we have the numbers, but because we have the power. And I think once we learn to organize, once we learn to row in the right direction, to take the charge in fighting for everyone's rights, then the Black community and every other community is going to be much more open to unifying with us. It may take time. We may not agree. We may not get a lot of this right, but I think we have to want it. And I think we have to step out of our own personal bubbles and step out of this, not my battle, not my fight, because it is. So to all of those in the Black community who saw my video, who commented and said, take care of your own house, talk to your own people, I appreciate it, because I think that's what we need to do.
Welcome back, my family. Now, before I go forward, I want us to walk in some history here. The relationship between black people and the Latino community has always been on the line. The relationship between black people and Latino has always been complicated. Some of you already know that there are millions and millions of Afro-Latinos. These are black people living in places like Brazil, Colombia, Cuba, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and right here in the United States. And for a long time, blackness has been hidden, denied, or even hated in many Latino places, you know? And some of our Latino brothers and sisters tried to run from their black roots. And many of them in America especially voted against policies that helped black people. Why? Because they looked down on black people. They looked down on black Americans. They repeated racist stereotypes. They bought they bought into the white man's lie about black people. And that's why some of them voted against policies that are for black people, you know, or they voted for policies that hurt black people. And black Americans, to be specifically, were protesting for justice, and they said that they were angry. Black Americans were fighting for freedom. They said that they were playing victim. Black Americans stood in front of ICE buses, and they said that that's not our problem. But now it is eating them both, and the same system they ignored is the same system that has turned on them. And now you have seen those who have eyes are opening up, and those who now appreciate or acknowledge black people are opening up. Now, why did Latinos ignore black people before? And why did they act like black people did not exist, or like black people's struggles weren't real? It is very simple. Now, white supremacy taught them that if they stay close to whiteness, they will be safe. And many of them wanted that. Many of them wanted to be associated with the power, or wanted to be associated with almost white privilege. And they thought that if they didn't rock the boat, if they kept their heads down, if they didn't speak up for black people, then they will get to sit at the table with the white people. They'll get to enjoy the white privilege. But guess what? That's not happening, or that's not happening. Now, right now, they are realizing the seat was never coming. They were realizing that because of white supremacy, there are still others. There are still foreigners. There are still migrants in the eyes of the white system. The white system never gave them the seat, okay? And if they gave them the seat, it was a plastic seat. Was not prolonged, was not long-term. No matter how light skin you are, no matter how soft skin you are, no matter how well you speak English, no matter how you try to blend in, the system will never align with you. The system was never made for you. Now I'm seeing some Latinos, Mexican, Cubans, you know, they are coming online saying things like we are sorry for how we treated black people. Say things like we should have stood with black people. Say things like we now realize how powerful black people are. They are here online. You have seen the videos I played you. And there are more and more and more. I know you have come across that the kind of videos. And now they are realizing that black people have been the backbone of every major justice movement in America. Black Americans, let me tell you something. You have something deep into you. You have the zeal of change. You have the zeal of movement. You have the zeal of unity. Let us not buy into lies that we are being told, because if a black American is a black American, things gonna move on swiftly. But if a black American is blended with some white American genes, we're gonna see something different. Now, I'll say this. When police brutality hit their communities, Latino communities, black people were in the street fighting. Very right. When ICE started raiding homes and tearing families apart, black people were on the streets fighting. Black people are fighting for everyone. Black Americans have always been like that. They fight for everyone. Even if the community they are fighting for sit in silence and calling them names, black Americans doesn't care a damn about it. They go on and they fight for you. And I have more examples to support me. I have, because I have gone down and deep in my books and I know what I'm talking about. Okay? So let me give you an example of what's happening. When you go on other social media, for example, TikTok, you will see Latino influencers apologizing. You will see young Afro-Latinos standing up and saying things like enough is enough. You will see, or you will hear Latino admitting that their families taught them about anti-blackness. We have talked about that. And we can see there are some videos Some are saying that in the community, they grew up being anti-blackness. But now they are calling it out. And I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy that I'm living in times where things are changing. I'm living in times where black people are now getting the respect they need to get. I'm living in times where black people are now being called to positions where nobody ever wanted to see them. And for example, in Dominican Republic, you have got Afro-Dominicans finally pushing back against the lie that we are not black. We are, in Brazil, we are Dominicans, we are like this. Now, some Dominicans are pushing back that lie. And you have the largest black population outside of Africa standing up stronger than ever before. For example, in Colombia, in Puerto Rico, and in Cuba, the truth is rising because they have the largest black community. Why do you have the largest black community outside Africa and yet you don't like the blackness? Because you were taught to hate yourself, because you were taught that black is inferior, because these things that you accept were taught. But here is the question I want to ask you today. Should black people forgive Latinos, Cubans, Mexicans? Should black people forgive them for not associating themselves with black people? Listen carefully to me now. Forgiveness is not weakness. We don't forgive because we forgive because unity is strength. We forgive because strategy is smarter than emotions. But don't get it twisted. This is not about letting people off the hook, okay? An apology on TikTok is just like a challenge. You get that? An apology on TikTok, it's cheap. That's like a challenge. People come and make challenges of asking for forgiveness. But showing up in the fight with black people is very expensive. It's very, very expensive. And black people are not begging for friendships. Black Americans ain't begging for friendship, ain't begging for approval, ain't begging to be loved. But black people demand to be respected. And they are demanding action. Black Americans, we must keep leading. Black people are the global leaders because black people are the first human being in the face of the earth, with or without apologies. And our work as black people does not stop whether people love us or not. And that's why we even invite people who colonize us in Africa. That's why we dine at the same table. That's why we don't seek for revenge. And we as black people, we build with Afro-Latinos, and those are our people. They have been disrespected too for too long, and they have been disrespected by their own families, by their own culture. Now, we should support them, we should stand with them, and we should uplift them. These are Afro-Latinos. We should do that. And if we stay united as black people worldwide, African Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, Africans, Afro-Latinos, if we stay pamoja as one family, one bloodline, one destiny, no one will come in between and try to scatter us, because the world is waking up. It is waking up on the truth, this truth that they tried to bury. And black people, this truth is that black people are the soul of every movement of justice. Black people are the foundation of worldwide culture. Black people are the future of the planet. Black people are the mothers of this planet. Now, to my Latinos brothers and sisters who are now waking up, don't need empty words. We need actions. We need you standing next to us. We need you fighting with us. We need you loving us, and we need you respecting us. Because if you don't stand with black people, then you are standing with the same system that's going to turn on against you. And you have seen that. You have seen what's happening. And for those who are outside, you know the clue, you know the grip. This gonna happen days after days, years after years, decades after decades. The only thing you need to do as Latino is to educate your fellow Latinos so that they can understand what's going on. So I will say this: the videos I'm seeing of Latinos coming online and talking about forgiveness, talking about we now know, talking about we now understand, I appreciate that. And I hope this goes not to only Latino only. Let it go to Asian people, African immigrant, black immigrant, and everyone. We need to have respect to the FBA. We need to have respect to the black American community, because this is all what we want. They have been fighting for us. The lie that we have been buying about them being lazy, about them being like this and like that, that is pure lie. And we need to step out and say no to this lie. And how will we do that? We will do that by listening to the creators that are now coming up, because these creators, they are not mainstream media. They talk as it is on the ground. If you want to know about Africa, if you want to know about Black Americans, these are the people to watch. And what we need to do as Africans or Black people, we need to forgive where forgiveness is needed. We need to appreciate when appreciation is needed. We need to love where we receive love back. And that's why I say Latinos are our brothers and sisters. Everyone is our brothers and sisters, but respect comes when you get respected, okay? So I'll say this. There is no any reward of coming close to whiteness. There is no any reward of coming close to, to the power. And the whole world is learning right now that they cannot erase Black people and expect to win. Without Black people, there's no future. Without Black people, there's no justice. Without Black people, there's no world culture. So to my Latino brothers and sisters who are now waking up, welcome to the truth. And we welcome you to the truth. But remember, this isn't about saying sorry. It's about standing with us in action, in sacrifice, in love and truth. Apologies is cheap. Action is expensive. I said that. Okay. Now tell me what you think on the comment section. I love you so much. Stay powerful, stay Black, stay proud, stay united. Until next episode. Peace out.